Welcome to this week's edition of K-Time, Seminole baseball fans. I'm Scott Kotick here at Hauser Stadium for your weekend preview as Florida State travels up to Chapel Hill to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Your first storyline of the weekend is 2 wins. Florida State simply needs 2 victories to clinch their 8th consecutive Atlantic title. That would be especially big heading into the postseason, as Florida State would be ensured of no worse than the number 2 overall seed in the ACC tournament in Greensboro in just a few short weeks. For Florida State, it's especially big as well because it really starts ensuring that top 8 national seed as we head into postseason play. Of course, if you know a lot about that postseason, getting a top 8 seed is always the number 1 goal for the postseason. Your second storyline is the middle of the Seminole order, namely DJ Stewart, John Nagowski, and Jose Brizuela. What we saw last weekend against Minnesota is the middle of that order really starting to take shape as we enter the later part of the season as the postseason approaches. For Florida State to continue to have that production in the lineup will certainly spell great things, especially this weekend against North Carolina, a team that's been struggling a little bit in ACC play, though take nothing away from North Carolina. They've been fantastic at home, 22-9 at home on the season, going to be a formidable force at Boshamer Stadium this weekend. Your third and final storyline have been the number of injuries the Seminole pitching staff has undergone over the past month. Brandon Liebren has now been out for about a month. Brian Holtman with a forearm strain. We saw Luke Weaver take a ball off the ankle last weekend. The good news for Florida State, Luke Weaver is perfectly healthy, ready to go for Friday night's matchup against Trent Thornton and North Carolina Tar Heels. But more importantly, guys like Taylor Blatch out of the bullpen. Peter Miller simply has looked fantastic over the past 2 appearances. Florida State needs that same sort of production. For most teams, if you lose a couple of your starting pitchers, the thought is, oh, this is not going to be good for the postseason. Florida State is not most teams. That bullpen is as deep as they come in the country, and the great news is they've been fantastic over the past few weeks. Stay tuned with us here at Seminoles.com for the most complete coverage of Florida State baseball. Number 4 Florida State against the North Carolina Tar Heels up in Chapel Hill, looking to clinch their 8th consecutive Atlantic title. Here at Hauser Stadium, I'm Scott Kotick for Seminoles.com.